Good morning, everybody. So I've gotten a few different questions about um, your works cited, which is kind of the last part that you have to do related to your research paper, and what exactly I mean when I say it needs to be an MLA format and it needs to be a complete citation and stuff like that. So I wanted to make this quick video for you to just kind of remind you of the basics of how that works and give you some suggestions so that hopefully you can put this together pretty easily. So, as you can see here, I've kind of created a little cheat sheet that I'm going to post on Classroom with this video in terms of what you need for both a print source like a book and a website, which I'm guessing is going to be um, what the majority of your sources for this particular research paper are. Now, I know this is a little bit of a tedious process, but just trust me, pretty much every college course I've ever taken, whether it was at a JC or a 4-year, has required you to do something like this whenever you write a paper. So it's something that's good to kind of get some practice with, and really, although it is, very kind of little details, it's really not that hard to put together. The computer will do a lot of the work for you. So, as you can see here in my example works cited, I've got A Long Way Gone listed already. Actually, this is supposed to be italicized. And then right now I've got 3 website sources here that I used. I actually stole these from Alexis's research paper. But just as they are right now, this is not a complete citation. Like, you can't just post the URL, unfortunately. In MLA format, they want you to have a whole bunch of other details, as you can see. So, author's name, article title, publication or company associated with it, when it was published, and then the URL itself. So basically, I'm going to show you how to put together all of that information. And again, you want as much of this as you can. Sometimes you can't find everything, but you want to find as much of this as you can. So I'm going to start with how you kind of do it manually. So we're going to use this one just as our hypothetical first source. And so here's my article, lots of good graphs and numbers and stuff like that. Looking around, okay. So for this one, I am not seeing an author title. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to my next piece of information that I can find, which is the article title. So, article title here, what did we say it's called? Let's see, Bogota, Colombia metro area population 1950 to 2020. So, Bogota, Colombia metro area population 1950 to 2020. Okay. Then, if you're looking at it, the next thing that we need to try to find is the publication or company title, and we need to italicize it. And so that looks like it is this Macro Trends company. A lot of times you can find kind of the full company name down at the bottom. I'm seeing Macro Trends LLC here, so that's what I'm going to put in. Macro Trends LLC. Then, in terms of what comes next, let's see, it looks like they want us to try to tell you when it was published. And again, sometimes it's going to be super clear. It'll be right at the bottom. Other times you have to kind of look around for it a little bit. And here I'm not seeing much. All I can really see is it just says 2010 to 2020. And so I'm going to assume, since there's nothing that indicates otherwise, that this website went up in 2010. So I'm going to say, in this case, we didn't get a day, a month. We only got a year. So I'm going to just say 2010. And then the last part where it says URL, that's what you've already kind of done, that's when you put in the actual web address. Now, again, basically how this works is you're expected to give this your best effort to find the information that it's asking for each citation. Like I said with this one, it didn't have every single piece of information, and that's okay. Like, that's going to be how it's going to be sometimes. You just have to find as much of the information as you can. Now, one thing you can do, and most people, I think you're going to find that rather than doing it manually like I did, that you'll want to kind of make this your norm, is there are lots of citation generators online. EasyBib is one. Citation Machine is another one. There are more beyond just these two, but just to kind of give you an idea, I'm going to show you kind of how to use each one. And really, it's one of those things where this will do a lot of the hard work for you. So I'm going to take, let's see, we got this one taken care of. So I'm going to take this next article and run it through Citation Machine or EasyBib. I think I'll do EasyBib first, actually. So what you want to do there is you want to take your URL and you're going to click Create Citations. This is obviously a website, so you'll click Website. You'll copy and paste your URL in like so. Click Cite. This will give you some of your basic information. At this point, you could manually create your citation from what's here. But really, if you want to save yourself a step, just click Continue. It's going to spiral a little bit for a second. Then, if you scroll down here, you'll click Complete Citation. You might have to watch an ad.
EasyBib Plus lets you scan for accidental plagiarism, check your grammar, automatically generate citations in the style you need. Start your 3-day free trial now.
And if the ads are annoying for you, honestly, that's it's like every 3 citations or so they'll make you watch one of those. So if you don't want to watch it, you could just switch over to another citation generator, like after 2, run it through Citation Machine instead. When you get to this list, you want to make sure that it is on MLA 8. That's what we're using. If you were in like Mr. Pragg's psych class, or you're writing like a paper in history, you might need to change style. But for English, what comes up as the default should be what you can use. And then basically, it's going to give you as much of the information as they were able to find. What then you need to do is you'll copy, and you can also highlight it. And then you'll go back over to your works cited, and we'll paste that in, and voila. Let's do the same thing with Citation Machine, just quickly. Honestly, they're pretty similar in terms of how they're set up, but just kind of to make sure you know how to use either one. So for this one, we're just, using the cheap version. We're just going to do our citations. Remember that it's MLA again. We're going to try the autofill mode again, because that's easiest. So I'm going to copy and paste in my third source. It'll take a second, and then you should get something like this. Click Select. And Citation Machine is kind of nice because they'll tell you what they were able to find, and they'll also tell you which part they were not able to find and what's probably not going to be part of your citation, so you're not kind of worried about it if it looks a little shorter than some of your others. Kind of same thing. Click Create Citation. And voila, we've got as much of it as we can get. Copy and paste. let's get rid of that highlighting. Doesn't really matter, but just so it all looks the same. And voila. Now, just one last step. Remember, works cited are supposed to be in alphabetical order. So in this case, it looks like it mostly put itself together in the right order already. Obviously, BE comes before BO, which comes before DO. However, in this case, it's looking like we've got DON versus DOC. So this one should come first. So once you got everything, all your sources done, and I would wait till you've got everything done and then just click and drag that way. But then you want to put it into alphabetical order. Again, I know it's a little bit tedious, but it's kind of just one of those things you have to do when you're writing a research paper. Please reach out to me if you've got any questions. I'm going to post this document and the video together on Classroom so that you can take a look back at it. And best of luck.